Welcome to this video on the Wara channel. My name is Sri Sadguru Buddha Rawa Bhagwan. Today we're going to talk about how to become a god, how to become a walking god on earth, or anywhere for that matter. How to become a real god with powers and immortality. How to become enlightened, how to see Brahman, become a Brahmana, how to go through all those achievements that the great yogi attains. How to become a being of great power. And what that means, right? So why is it that new people are born into the story, right? The story was already all pre-built. What's about to happen in the future, your destiny, the main big lines are already there, right? And your decisions, your free will, influence what paths you take along possible futures that have already been developed. And we move within different pathways for the future. All the options for the past, the present, the future were already developed at the beginning and built, and we run through the storyline with our decisions, and different situations take place. As more people are born into the story, right, into creation, these are related to the growth of creation. And with the growth of creation comes the growth of the functions that are required to maintain and do all the functions of creation. As such, organically, those in the life that is born directly represents those new functions that come with the growth of creation. For example, when someone becomes enlightened, at the vibrationary field of enlightenment, the field expands to accommodate the new space of the new enlightened one that descends into the field. At that time, that is the movement, that is the process that ensures the expansion of the universe and of the story. New people represent functions. New people born into creation. And these functions, they are operating at the level of the Kala Chakra as systems, but they are experiencing this as a life and an experience of life that you can enjoy, right? A story, a dream of physicality. So people represent functions within the computer in which we exist, in the computer program in which we exist specifically. And as these new functions develop over time in different lifetimes, right, or grow, right, they can reach enlightenment. Until such a time as they reach enlightenment, they essentially fall under another person, right? The development of another being that is enlightened and controls a set of functions under which they fall. But as they develop as functions within the computer program, they essentially become better at their job. And as they become better in their job, at that point, this can lead them to enlightenment. And enlightenment leads to a system state, essentially, where you are now able to, in your own right, have your own domain under your own protection, under your own control, which is an enlightened domain, which means a domain that exists of its own. a domain that others can connect to now in their paramparas. Basically, it means you become a god, a deity. Okay? And you become the deity of your domain. And your domain exists through all the levels of creation. You become a function within the computer that becomes enlightened. So essentially, as you have developed, more prioritization has been given to your functions. And as more prioritization has been given to your functions take an importance that increases. So essentially, yes, you can become a god. And the lineage of Zenwara is the lineage that the gods belong to. Those who have become gods. Okay. I'll give you an example. Now, you may have heard of Yahweh, right? The God of the Jews, right? Who is Yahweh? So Yahweh is a practitioner of yoga who followed the lineage of Zenwara, also known as Wara. And as he developed an ability and power through the lineage, he developed immortality and became a god. Then he chose a people and became the god of that people, and kept developing and became almost as powerful as you can become as a god. In that way, he represents creator functions within the system. And you can connect to him through parampara, right? Because he is part of the parampara of Zenwara, which connects to all windows. There's even windows that have no connections, technically, because those are non-connectable windows, and even the parampara of Zenwara can reach them in some ways, and reaches them in some ways. So there's some that do not connect. Within a computer, some systems connect and some do not connect. So, right. So you can become a god. And you'll have powers. Very, very, very different range of powers. Depending on the functions that you oversee. Right. So as Yahweh became a god, he became a god of the Zenwara parampara. And that's why his story comes up so importantly in the story of God. He became a white god, one that is in white color, which means that he is very, very, very advanced and powerful and strong within the lineage of Wara. And he also works very closely in some grids with the whole enlightened block of Judaism very closely. And then within the lineage of Wara, different blocks work more closely with each other. Different groups of deities interact, different function with each other, but they all operate within each other. So they're all the deities, all the gods are part of the armies of Wara, right? The Wara, the armies of God. So this is how you become a god, a real god with power in the Wara lineage, right? And the Wara lineage basically gives you the recognition from all the other gods because they recognize you as one of theirs. Now, they might not have much time for you at the beginning until you reach a certain level where you can connect better with them. But within the Wara lineage, you can connect to any god, any deity of any culture, faith, tradition, or religion within time. It is the lineage that gave birth and gives birth to the gods. The Wara grows again. The Wara is like the tree with the branch that grows. Sham yatam katvatahim yasham Bervitim yodrohoshoyom yemtam Kadvim yeshvidim Yam Budam Satguru Vadayam. Thank you for listening to this video on the Wara channel.